Yeah, hey you all. How the fuck you doing? Well, I think it'd be best to address the old elephant in the room. That being, hey, where the fuck you been? You meaning me. Well, it's a very interesting concept of an answer. I really haven't gone anywhere. I'm not. I haven't disappeared. I haven't forgotten about this channel or anything. But you have to understand, okay? I'm a father. I'm a father of a 2-year-old, and I don't have a job right now. So here's the thing, right? Most of my life is centered around finding ways to not spend money so that we're not like outside, holding our thumbs up. Well, no, that's hitchhiking. But whatever the fuck. So that we ain't homeless. All right, so I'm trying to navigate that while not really going out and enjoying the outdoors, which I'm not an outdoors person. I don't know if I went over that. I'm really not. Bugs live out there. Bugs live in here, but there are fewer of them and they're less bold. That being said, I didn't have much to say. I mean, in my absence, we got us a new president. Nice shiny orange president, and I mean, all that happened. But really, what the fuck am I gonna say? What am I gonna say? You know already. You know how I feel about that fucker already. You could piece that shit together like this is a fucking game of Clue. Just go back and listen to shit that I've said, either about him or, I don't know, about women, and then you can just fucking piece it together. You know how the fuck I feel about this jackass. You already understand. So there's no real reason for me to fucking go over all of that shit. I mean, I guess it'd be cathartic for me, but I don't really need it. I just kind of ignore him. Same way I did with Bush. Just fucking ignore him. Though Bush would be a considerable upgrade at this point, and I never thought I'd be able to say that sentence seriously. I mean, damn. That being said, really, I just, this thing has been mostly about me getting my brain thoughts out about things, and I purposefully don't talk a ton about my family. And a lot of that is because, they're not on here to defend themselves, or they're 2 years old and they can't defend themselves. So I tend to shut the fuck up about them. And considering that's been pretty much my whole life, ain't nothing for me to say. There's nothing for me to fucking, go into. But then, I happened to leave the house. And I went to this thing. And I want to talk about it. Because it was fucking weird. and it was only weird because I'm an incredibly weird person when it comes to being around people that I don't know. Like, first of all, I was going to see my friend / boss speak. See, I did say that I didn't have a job. Not entirely true. I don't have a job that's able to pay me yet. So I do have a boss, and I do get assignments, but I'm waiting for them to get money so that they can pay me so that I can actually consider myself as having a job. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm working, but regardless, I just wanted to but I wanted to clear up how I got a boss when I ain't got a job. But that's whole other here and there. So we're at the thing, and my friend / boss is scheduled to talk, right? Well, actually, there's two of them. and they were scheduled to talk, but only one of them made it. But that's a whole other thing. So I get there late, and I also get there first, which is weird. And essentially, let me paint the picture of this wonderful landscape. Okay, if you could envision just a room full of fucking hippies, right? Just a room packed with hippies. Now I'm gonna need you to take back about 40% of the hippieism in regards to the clothing. Okay? So they're not wearing tie-dye and shit. They're wearing normal, everyday, walk around shit. But at the same time, they got crazy fucking beards. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's in hippiedom, but it's pulled back such that it's not full blown, like you walk in and it's just a cloud of smoke and you don't even know what the fuck the smoke is. Like it could be incense, could be weed, could be some shit that'll kill you. You don't know what the fuck it is. You just walking through a cloud of shit trying to find people. But that's not what this is. You gotta bring it back. It was more modern. It was a tech and music thing where people in the world of tech and the world of music and the world of both, which is kind of what we are, was talking about shit and all that. But my issues came at the beginning because I was the first one there, and I don't know how many can relate, but I tend to rely on what I like to call an anchor, right? An anchor to me is a person, typically the person I came with. It's the person that's there that I know that I can sit with and be comfortable with, while all this other fucking riffraff to my right is just doing whatever the fuck they doing and talking about their fucking cats and all this other shit. They can do all that while I sit with my anchor and just fucking yak about shit that we already know. That's the fucked up thing about having an anchor. It's like you already know this person. Here is this treasure trove of new stories, and you are sitting here basically drinking your own fucking bath water, talking to this other person that you already know everything you need to fucking know about them, and you sitting there talking to them because that's what the fuck you do. Anyway, I'm just going into how I'm weird. Okay. But you know, they said that, you know, when we got there that, you know, there was food, there was drink, you know, just make yourself comfortable and all that shit. To me, make yourself comfortable means you go sit your ass down and wait on the rules. You know, like I was waiting on the rules. Okay, I sat there. I ain't know what the fuck. I ain't know. Like they had plates of. It was weird because they had plates out, but it felt like they hadn't finished yet. Like there were plates that had bologna and like ham and other meats and shit, but then there wasn't no bread. Wasn't no bread. Wasn't no, like. It was like you were supposed to make certain things, but then the fundamental aspect of those things were just fucking gone. And it was weird. Like they had olives and carrots and like a bunch of other vegetables and shit, but then it wasn't no lettuce and it wasn't no bowls. So I'm like, am I supposed to make a salad? How the fuck am I gonna make a salad? You ain't give me no damn bowl. Ain't no dressing out here. What the fuck am I supposed? I'm just eating raw olives. What the fuck? You offering raw olives to people? Like that's a little fucking strange. I ate them because I'm strange myself, but it was weird. I'm like, I'm just sitting there, I kind of picked my seat and I was just waiting. I'm like, okay, so it seems like somebody of the serving capacity is going to come out with a bowl of lettuce and, a packaged thing of bread or something. Maybe some fucking cheese. Maybe some, like, it was like, I can't eat cheese, but it was weird not seeing cheese there among all this lunch meat. Wasn't no Miracle Whip, wasn't shit. Like, I didn't understand. Like, I'm just supposed to eat the fucking bologna without nothing? Like, that's what? How do you serve adults bologna? Like, how do you? I'm a grown ass man. I'm eating bologna just straight. Like, what? I don't even mean to make fun of them. It was just weird. Like, it was nice of them to provide food for us. It was. But I just want to point out how the spread was a little raw. That's all I'm saying. And there was like hummus. And I don't even know how to approach hummus. Because, like, I'm so scared of milk. If I even think something has milk in it, I say, fuck that noise. And the hummus, like, at this point in my life, the way milk done fucked me up, I just stay away from things that are thick. Like, fuck it. It ain't worth it. If it tells me it's dairy free, cool. I don't know what the fuck hummus is. I have no idea. And I sure as hell don't know how these people prepare their own hummus. So I just stayed the fuck away from the shit. In fact, I ain't even know it was hummus until they told me at the end of the fucking night when people started packaging shit to go home. I ain't even know it was hummus. It just looked like creamy white shit with like green speckles in it. I was like, I don't know what the fuck that is. I ain't eating it. Might have milk in it. So the food was interesting. The food was interesting. I mean, none of it tasted gross. I mean, it was what it was, And they had stuff on tap. I make air quotes. I mean, they had beer and shit, but I don't drink. But it was weird because they had cold coffee and they had tea, but they were on tap, and it felt weird. It was like it was like going up to a bar and being like, yeah, I'd like some green tea. And then pulling the little bar and shit and having it come out into a glass and just sliding it down the bar to you. Except none of the bar part was there. It was just the thing that you pull and then tea came out. And I was like, all right, guess this is how adults drink tea in the city. So that happened. I went and sat down, just dealt with my shit. Then I noticed some people were going, because the whole thing was at this counter, and people were going behind the counter and getting cups and shit to get beverages and all this other stuff. And I was like, damn, son, we can go behind the counter? I didn't even fucking know that. I was in the front part, like, it was a line or something. And I'm just going along, getting my little carrots and olives and shit. And I didn't even know we could go behind the counter. And behind the counter was where the beer and all that stuff was. And I was like, damn, we could actually go back there. So then I went back there. And I was just looking around until I noticed that I probably looked weird. And then I moved back towards my seat, which probably made me look even weirder. But at that point, I don't give a shit because I'm at the comfort of my seat. Like, eventually, if I don't have a human anchor, I make a thing my anchor. At that point, my anchor was the seat. It was the seat. I'm like, all right, this is my comfort zone that I have established. It's like you sit down, you make the shield around you, just, and then you just sit there in the comfortable. That's what you do if you're me and weird. Now, so they did say that, we would have, free things and that sort of thing. And there were these food items. I guess this place doubles as like not a deli, but like a place where you go, like a mini cafeteria. kind of like a mini cafeteria, and people were just, you know, moving back and forth, having all these conversations, all this stuff. And I just noticed that on the walls, there were like bags of chips and juice bottles and all this shit. And I was just thinking, like, that might be free because I don't see any registers over here. So that might be for us, but I don't know because there ain't a way in shit I'm finna walk into a place like this and start doing shit first. There's just no way. No, I ain't doing nothing first. Everything I did, I saw somebody else do first, just so I could know it's aight before I go waltzing my ass over there to do the shit. Because I'm not doing nothing first. I ain't gonna be the one motherfuckers got to come up on me doing that whisper shit with their head down. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. When somebody has to come up. Yeah, excuse me, sir. That is, that is not something that is on the list. If you wouldn't mind putting that back, and please, you know, step over to the plate of all of this shit that has been laid out in front of you right here, and maybe stay away from the walls that no one else is. Like, I'm not gonna be that guy. I'm not gonna be the guy who gets approached like that. I'm gonna be the guy who sits in his little swivel chair and watches the area. And that's exactly what the fuck I did. I just sat there and I just, you know, I made sure that I had a chair that turned. And then I just sat there and watched. And I was like, if anybody goes over there and grabs anything, that's when the countdown starts. I'm going to about 25 in my brain. And if nobody talks to that person, then I'm getting up and I'm going to give me some juice. Period. Because that would have just been that. I don't know if there's ever a time in my life where I would not like a nice cold bottle of juice. I just, it's delicious. But yeah, so I'm sitting in the swivel chair, right? And I saw something that I didn't even like. If you had asked me what weird thing would a person do at a gathering, there's absolutely no way I would have thought of this. But now that I've seen it, it's the first fucking thing I would say, and I'm looking for it at every single gathering that I ever attend. Just from here out, anybody does this shit, I'm looking at you suspect. I'm either feeling bad for you if I know you, or I'm questioning the shit out of you if I don't. All right. And I ain't saying that this was a bad person. I don't think he was a bad dude, but this shit is weird. Okay. I saw a grown ass man who probably has bills that he pays on time. I saw this man take a plastic cup off of a stack of plastic cups and then wash the cup before he used it to drink a fucking beverage. What the fuck? Weird ass germaphobe nonsense. Like, how afraid of you? Like, what the fuck was the mentality? You know the shit came out of some plastic and was just placed there. Okay? Do you think that people are just walking around, oh, look at all these plastic cups? Yeah, guess I'll just put my dick on them. Like, is that what the fuck you're thinking? Because I'm not thinking that. What are you afraid of with a fuck? Like, I was in awe. I'm thinking, oh, okay, he must be getting some water. He wasn't getting no fucking water. He put the water in the cup, and like swirled the shit around and you know, then it just rinsed it out. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? It was a plastic. It's not like he found the fucking thing and it was like half full of beer and shit. Then I'd be like, oh, okay, I get you. But if you just fucking pull it off of the fucking stack and just like, oh yeah, well, you know, I'm just, you know, I gotta clean it. Why? It's a plastic. It's not even like you in somebody's house and you took you took like a porcelain fucking mug out of the fucking cabinet and it was a little crusty and you're like, yeah, let me get this shit off. Like, then I understand. It's a fucking plastic cup at an event. The fuck you think? It wasn't even the one on the bottom. I would understand the one on the bottom more than one in the fucking middle. What the shit? So, yeah, that fucking happened, and I thought that was incredible. I did not believe there would ever be a time where I thought I would see that, and now if I see that shit, if I see somebody do that, I'm putting them in the same category as somebody who gets offered the same fruit, except one is cold and one is warm, and they pick the warm one. Like, you do that and I see it, I'm wondering who's under your garage. Like, somebody is fucking buried in your shit because you're weird. Something is wrong. Something is just fucking switched the wrong fucking way, and you just no with that. No. Just, no. But, like, yeah, so, okay, we're at the thing. I'm feeling weird. Okay. For those who care, I do not. But the ratio of white folk to black folk like myself was about maybe 7, probably about some 19-2, something like that. So yeah, I mean, there's one other black dude. He had established his own comfort zone, and I made it a point not to invade that space. And then we were kind of just there, and then there was a big pile of white people over to the right who were just yammering and yakking and all that stuff. Probably came with their own anchors and all that shit, and were just saying the same stuff they'd be saying to anybody. Okay, so I think I noticed something. There's a certain hairstyle that's very specific to certain jobs, I think. And I think it's the low mohawk with the tiny ponytail in the back. And I think if you have one of those, you got to be in the music industry, or you got to work in like on a beach somewhere, or maybe like 1 out of 10 times you're a waiter. But outside of that, I can't imagine anybody else with that. So that was just something I just noticed at that point, because I was just like, where the fuck else do I see that hair? I don't see that hair in Target. I don't see that hair in the gas station. This is where I go. This is where I go. I go to Target. I go to the gas station. I go to Jewel. Fucking pathetic. Yeah, since I don't see these people in the 3 or 4 places I occupy, then they don't exist anywhere else in the world. I don't know. I guess they just can't exist anywhere else. Anywho, Another thing I noticed while I was there is either my coworkers are really damn nice, or my body and head exaggerates shit to a ridiculous level. I burped while I was there, right? And I kept my mouth closed because I'm a fucking gentleman. But I kept my mouth closed during the burp. And I was sitting kind of close to the coworkers because that's the way this newfangled feng shui Tetris ass bullshit couch was set up. And I was sitting kind of close to him, and it just hit. It was like, I'm like, oh shit. Oh goodness. And I didn't know, like, because it didn't come out of my mouth, all of the sound was in my head, and it just sounded like and their heads didn't move. Like, the first thing I did was I looked at the back of both of their heads. I'm like, oh shit. And it was just silence. People were talking at this point, but it was just silence in my brain. I'm like, oh shit. If any of them, like, if they even half turn their head, then I'm going to be a story for the next month. I'm not going to hear it. But I'm going to be the story that they tell each other and everybody they fucking know. I already know that that's what's going to fucking happen, because this is the way my brain works. I am paranoid as shit that I am making the lives of other people even a fraction worse. I'm hyper aware of that shit. So when I sense that it might be happening, I get fucking crazy self-conscious. I'm like, oh shit. Like, they are going to be fucking talking all this shit about me. And not like talking shit on me like being terrible people, but just like I'm going to be the story. And their heads didn't move, but I still wonder. I still fucking wonder. This didn't even happen like yesterday or anything. It was like last week, Thursday or some shit. And I'm recording this I think Tuesday of the next week. So it's been some days. Like it's not that fresh, but I still wonder. I still wonder. Because I freaked the fuck out in my brain, but they didn't move. So I'm guessing that they didn't notice. But, you know, I don't know. And they were talking, right? So the people were talking and they were saying shit. And, you know, they were talking about, you know, giving their insights. And my friend boss was sitting there. And I saw something. I saw two things of magic happen. Two things. I know this guy kinda somewhat well. Enough to know about him how he argues, because I've seen it a bunch of times, and it's something when you're used to a person arguing in a closed environment that they're familiar with, and you see them take that person, that argumentative style, and you see them present it in the wilds of other people. The shit, it's like somebody is just unwrapping a gift for you in front of your face. If you're like me. If you're not like me and you don't like the confrontation and you prefer everybody just get along and everything be nice and quiet and calm and stuff, there's nothing wrong with you. Let me just preface what I'm about to say with there is nothing wrong with you. But I am in no way like that. I like to see the shit go down. Because it's fucking hilarious. And I've watched that happen. Like it started up. It was like the engine had just started revving. because he said stuff and I'm like, you're kind of shitting on their whole plan. Like, it's like if you go to a place and your point is to sell donuts, right? It's got to be fucking done. You're not a bad person for selling donuts. You're not an asshole for selling donuts, right? Now, what if a guy comes onto the panel that you're going on and just starts talking about, yo, man, you don't need fucking donuts. Donuts will fucking kill you. Donuts are ridiculous. Donuts ain't gonna benefit your fucking life at all. That's basically what he fucking did, and it was great. Because he was telling his truth, Like, he wasn't trying to shit on the donut salesman. But at the same time, he feels like, yo, fuck you eating donuts for? You're already fat. Chill the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you even engorging yourself in these fucking donuts when you could be over here eating these olives and carrots? I'm not going to forget the fact that they just gave us raw olives and carrots. They ain't give us no kind of dip. This shit's ridiculous. All right, well, I guess the hummus was the dip, so that's my bad. But anyway, yeah, so he basically did that, and then the people, you ever seen people have to dial themselves back from a 10 to a 3 with a person who's just fucking chilling at 7 and doesn't give a fuck? Have you ever seen that? Let me tell you something. That shit is great. My friend Boss was a solid 7 this whole time. He's just going. He's going. And the rest of them are like, fuck is he doing? Okay, let me calm down. Let me calm down and relax. Let me not say, fuck is he doing? Well, you see, donuts provide the carbohydrates that are at times needed to help one make it through their day, and there isn't anything necessarily wrong with the donut. And then my friend Boss is like, donuts are shit. Donuts, you don't need them. You fucking die eating the donuts. And it's like, there have been no studies shown that suggest that the donuts will kill you directly. There are other lifestyle choices that can be made. Like, this was the arguing method. He just, see, let me tell you about these donuts. And then they're like, you know what? I'm going to tell you, donuts are not as harmful as this and then it just kind of started to ramp up a little bit. And then I think that my friend Boss realized what was happening, felt the room, and just went away. He didn't leave the chair. But he went away. His face, you could look in his eyes and just tell he was visiting somewhere else for a little while it all died down. And then he came back after it all like blew over, and it was just kind of, talky, walkie, and everything was all good. But that point, I had the giggles more than I have had the giggles in so long, just because I was just feeling where that shit was going. And I was just like, this room isn't ready. I don't know how many people to where if they start arguing in a room, you think about the room and you're like, they're not ready. This is how I felt. It's like, they're not ready. They are not ready. This is going to be fucking great. But it's only going to be great for me. Everybody else going to be like, the fuck we let up in here? What we got, the little taste we got was fantastic. and the night ended with everyone being cordial, or at least acting cordial. There are probably some people there that hated his fucking guts, but just kept it under, the veil of, I'm gonna be a professional, I'm gonna be about my business, you know what I'm saying, and just deal with shit, Oh my days. Okay, so eventually they were just talking. They were talking and talking, and we had this leads me to the second monumental thing that happened during this talk. And after that, it kind of fizzled down, and everybody, did their thing and then left. So there isn't really much to go on after this. But this thing, there was a moderator, and her thing was to keep everything moving, right? That was her, her role in the dance, was to make sure that everything got covered and everything got covered on time. So she asked the questions. She, moved us along in segments, that sort of thing. So when everybody was talking and everybody was going on and on and on about their shit, right? This woman, I guess it was kind of warm. I guess I'll preface it with that, but it wasn't this warm. Okay, the whole time she had a mic, and the microphone was attached to her. It was on her. It wasn't her neck. It was just below her neck. So like upper chest, right? So she's sitting there. She talks, very kind voice. I wouldn't say old, but she wasn't in her 20s. You know what I mean? So she's just, she's talking and all that. And when she talks, she has a very comfortable voice. She wasn't getting loud and talking over people, right? So when everybody was talking and, going back and forth and all this shit, and it was time to move on to the questions from the audience, here's what she did, right? I don't know if the effect's going to be the same on this thing, but what she did was she took the little pamphlet thing that was in her hand and started fanning herself, but at the same time, she just beat the shit out of her microphone. This shit sounded like it was fucking ridiculous. She beat the shit, and then everybody's sitting there like, what the fuck? Like the looks on their faces, and she just kept going until nobody was talking anymore. And then one of the guys was like, hey, I think you're hitting your mic. And she was like, oh, I didn't. Yeah, so we're going to have to open it up to guest questions. And I about lost it, because when she started talking about the questions from the audience, that's when it had clicked and I realized what she had done. I damn near had to leave because I kept it together. I kept my composure, but as soon as I found out what she was doing, I wanted to just start, like I wanted to cackle and then fall to the floor and just laugh. That's all I wanted to do. Because like that is just the most classy, but I don't give a shit kind of like I can't even, like, it's like she had a playbook of sorts. Like, okay, if they don't let you cut in, here's how you shut them the fuck up. You just beat the shit out of your mic. And the sound echoed across the whole room. There's no way she didn't know she was doing that. There's no fucking way. It's impossible. Sound doesn't work that way. You can't be beating the shit out of your mic and have me in the back hear it and the dude sitting next to you hear it and you hear nothing. That is impossible if you're not deaf. It just, no, that doesn't happen. But she did that shit and I thought it was just a fucking, it was a thing of beauty and genius. So, I mean, that's really all I got to talk about on that event. I do. Let's address the other elephant. I'm not going to be gone for as long as I was this time because I've been taking notes of things that have come to my brain that I do want to cover on here. Yeah, there are a few things that I want to cover. I won't go into them now, but I've been building them up so that way when I can get them off my chest, it'll feel more like I have a more consistent schedule. Not to say I'm gonna have one. I'm just, I wanted to have something to say before I made my return. That's all. And now I feel like I got stuff to say. So, oh man, that guy who washed that fucking cup, yo, that shit. I never thought that would stick in my brain the way it has. But it totally has. And that shit just is stuck. And I don't even understand why. Why would you wash a fucking... Alright. Anywho, thank you very much for listening to this. I am very happy to be doing this. I have never... ever once thought that anyone who listens to these wasn't good enough or worthy of my words. Like, I hope no one is putting an asshole slant on my absence thinking that I just didn't give a fuck about my people and all that stuff. I just didn't want for this to devolve into, I got this white paint on my walls. Like, nobody wants to fucking hear anything about the paint on my walls. Nobody is gonna sit over here and listen to me rant about fucking Raisin Bran. Like, nobody's gonna give a shit. Okay. I don't know if you heard that. You probably didn't, because I probably would have dealt with the sound issue of that. But my dog is sitting outside my room whining because I ain't fed her yet, and she's giving me shit. So I'm gonna go. Again, thank you for listening, and take care of yourself. And don't be washing no fucking plastic cups.